There is a moment you can meet someone and feel an instant, almost supernatural connection. A feeling so intense, so validating, that it appears to be destiny. Every word they say is exactly what you needed to hear. Every action they take seems to prove that you are the most special person on earth. It feels like finally coming home. But what if this feeling is not destiny? What if it is a strategy? This is the core question we must dissect today. Because that overwhelming, cinematic, too good to be true feeling often has a name: love bombing. Love bombing is not about affection. It is about control. It is a calculated psychological tactic of overwhelming a person with flattery, grand gestures, and intense focus to create rapid emotional dependency. It is a tool often used by individuals with narcissistic or other dark triad personality traits, designed to lower your defenses and make you addicted to their presence. This is a neurochemical takeover. Your brain is flooded with dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals involved in addiction, creating a powerful bond built not on genuine connection, but on a carefully engineered illusion. This video is a documentation of that process, a day-by-day breakdown of how a manipulator can build a world around you in 1 week, only to become the one who tears it all down. This is the anatomy of a love bomb. The countdown, the 7-day love bomb, the grand opening, overwhelming compliments, and future. Faking. The process begins the moment you meet. The compliments are not simple flattery. They are deep, soul-level affirmations. It is not, "You have pretty eyes." It is, "I've never seen eyes that hold so much wisdom and kindness. It's like I can see your entire soul." The manipulator is not just attracted to you. They are in awe of you. This is a specific tactic. It is called idealization, and it is the cornerstone of love bombing. It feels incredible because it taps directly into the deepest human need for validation and worth. Within hours, these compliments evolve into something more potent: future faking. The manipulator begins to paint a vivid, detailed picture of a life together. They do not just say, "I'd like to see you again." They say, "I can already picture us a year from now, on our anniversary trip to Italy. We'll find that little cafe you talked about." They speak of these future events with such certainty that they feel like memories you just have not made yet. Future faking is a profoundly insidious tactic. It is not just making false promises. It is the selling of a dream of a future to control behavior in the present. It fast-forwards intimacy, bypassing the slow, natural process of building authentic connection. The target becomes committed not to the person in front of them, but to the dream the manipulator has expertly crafted. By the end of day 1, the hook is set. The siege, constant contact, and manufactured similarity. On day 2, one might wake to a barrage of messages. The contact is relentless, a digital siege. This constant attention is designed to do 2 things: occupy all of your mental and emotional real estate, and create a powerful dopamine feedback loop. Every notification is a small hit of validation, a chemical reward the brain quickly begins to crave. An hour of silence can provoke anxiety. A new message brings a wave of relief. Without realizing it, one's emotional state becomes tethered to the manipulator's communication. At the same time, a web of manufactured similarity is meticulously constructed. Every interest you have, they appear to share. Your favorite obscure band, they claim to have their concert t-shirt. Your passion for hiking, they are an expert mountaineer. This is a tactic called mirroring. It is not about having things in common. It is a Machiavellian strategy where the manipulator reflects your personality, values, and interests back to you. The goal is to create an illusion of a perfect match, a soulmate. It feels like being seen on a profound level, but what you are actually seeing is a distorted reflection of yourself. The manipulator is gathering data and using it to become your ideal partner. What feels like magical synchronicity is, in reality, a calculated performance. You are not falling for them. You are falling for a version of yourself they are playing back to you. The isolation, cutting off the world. On the third day, the focus shifts from simply occupying your time to actively severing your connections. The tactics are subtle. They will plan elaborate dates that consume entire evenings, forcing you to cancel plans with friends. They will say things like, "Why go out with them? We have something so special right here. I just want you all to myself." These phrases are disguised as romance, but they are instruments of isolation. The manipulator begins to subtly belittle one's support system. A lifelong friend is suddenly a bit negative. A weekly family dinner becomes an obligation, detracting from our time. They will not forbid you from seeing others. That is too obvious a red flag. Instead, they make you feel guilty for wanting to. A dynamic is created where choosing to spend time with anyone else feels like a betrayal of the perfect connection. This is a critical step. By creating a wedge between you and your support system, the manipulator removes any external reality checks. Friends and family are the only ones who can look at the situation objectively and say, "This seems too fast." By isolating you, the manipulator ensures their voice becomes the only one you hear. Their version of reality becomes your only reality. The showcase, grand gestures and public displays. Day 4 is about making the fantasy public. It might begin with a lavish delivery of flowers to your office, so over the top that it draws comment. Then come the public displays of affection, effusive social media posts about how you have changed their life, calling you their queen, their everything. They want the world to see how perfect it is. These grand gestures are not about celebrating you. They are about creating an image and a sense of obligation. First, it makes the relationship appear incredibly successful to the outside world. This reinforces the illusion and makes it harder to voice doubts later. People might say, "But he treats you so well. He worships you." Second, extravagant gifts create a sense of psychological indebtedness. There is a subconscious pressure to reciprocate that level of investment. When someone puts you on a public pedestal, it becomes more difficult to pull away. You feel you owe them your loyalty. The manipulator is buying compliance with flowers and compliments. They are not building a relationship. They are building a case for their own greatness, with you as the star exhibit. The vulnerability trap, forced intimacy, and trauma bonding. After establishing the perfect exterior, Day 5 is about creating a deep, seemingly unbreakable emotional bond. This is often achieved through the sharing of a gut-wrenching story from their past, a painful childhood, a history of being misunderstood. They may cry. You may feel a wave of empathy, a sense of being chosen. They have trusted you with their deepest pain. This is the vulnerability trap. While genuine vulnerability is the cornerstone of healthy intimacy, manipulators use a curated sob story to fast-track connection. This tactic accomplishes several things. It makes you see them as a victim, lowering your guard. It creates a sense of profound, unique intimacy, the feeling that you, and only you, truly understand them. This manufactured vulnerability initiates a trauma bond. This is a powerful psychological attachment that forms out of a cycle of abuse and positive reinforcement. By making you feel like their savior, they are laying the groundwork for that cycle. They are not sharing their soul. They are giving you a role to play, the one person who can heal them. This creates a powerful sense of responsibility that will be incredibly difficult to break. It is a bond forged not of mutual respect, but of manufactured pain. The dependency, solving all your problems. By day 6, the manipulator has established themselves as the perfect partner, confidant, and protector. Now, the goal is to become indispensable. They begin to insert themselves into every practical aspect of your life. A car making a strange noise? They insist on taking it to their mechanic. Stress about a work project? They will spend hours coaching you. On the surface, this appears incredibly supportive, but this is a systematic erosion of self-reliance. The manipulator is not helping. They are slowly teaching you that you are incapable of handling your own life without them. Every problem they solve chips away at your own sense of competence. You begin to second-guess your own decisions. Autonomy is dismantled, piece by piece, under the guise of love. You are being conditioned to believe that you need them, not just emotionally, but functionally. This is a critical part of the trap. When someone is entangled in every aspect of your life, leaving means not just heartbreak, but the complete upheaval of your daily existence. They are making themselves the architect of your life, so that if you ever try to leave, the entire structure will collapse. The unveiling. The first crack. The 7th day is when the mask begins to slip. The intensity of the previous 6 days is unsustainable. It is not a dramatic explosion, but a series of small, unsettling moments. A promised trip is brought up, and the manipulator looks at you blankly. I never said that. You must have imagined it. It is said with such conviction that for a moment you believe them. Later, a joke is made at your expense. It is subtle, a small barb disguised as humor, but it feels sharp. When you get quiet, there is no apology. There is defensiveness. Wow, you're really sensitive, aren't you? Suddenly, you are the problem. This is the first taste of what is to come. This is the pivot point, the moment the love bomber begins the transition into the next phase. Devaluation. The fairy tale has served its purpose. You are hooked, invested, and isolated. The foundation of dependency has been built. Now, the real work of control can begin. That 1 week was not love. It was the bait. And on day 7, you feel the trap snap shut. The turning point. The gaslight begins. After that 7th day, the shift can be as abrupt as a light switch. The stream of loving texts slows to a trickle. Plans become tentative. The person who put you on a pedestal begins to look for flaws. Adoration is replaced by a chilling, confusing emptiness. And then the gaslighting begins in earnest. Gaslighting is a sinister form of psychological manipulation, where an abuser attempts to make their victim doubt their own perceptions, memories, and sanity. It is a deliberate tactic to rewrite your reality. You bring up a promise, and they flatly deny it, calling you crazy or forgetful. You express hurt, and they twist it. That's not what happened. You're being hysterical. They use classic phrases. You're making things up. You're too emotional. And the most insidious of all, I'm the only one who really knows you. This creates a state of profound cognitive dissonance, a mental stress that occurs when your own experience of reality is in direct conflict with what the person you trust is telling you. You begin to question everything. Your self-esteem erodes. You become racked with anxiety. This is the entire point of the love bomb to devalue cycle. The initial high makes the subsequent withdrawal of affection feel devastating. You become desperate to return to that perfect beginning, and the gaslighting convinces you that the reason you are not there is because of your flaws. The abuser becomes both the source of your pain and, in your mind, the only possible source of your salvation. If any of this sounds familiar, if you have felt that dizzying confusion or that desperate need to win back an affection that was suddenly withdrawn, know that this is a recognized pattern of psychological abuse. And if this content is valuable, consider subscribing. We bring these hidden dynamics into the light because knowledge is the first step toward reclaiming your own reality. The solution: how I rewired my brain. Breaking free is not just about ending a relationship. It is about fundamentally rewiring your brain and rebuilding your sense of self. The abuse trains your brain for hypervigilance and self-doubt. Healing is the process of unlearning those toxic patterns. Step 1. Naming the abuse. The first and most crucial step is giving the experience a name. When one first encounters the terms love bombing, gaslighting, and narcissistic abuse cycle, it can be a revelation. It is like being handed a map to the maze you have been lost in. Realizing you were dealing with a textbook set of manipulative tactics and not a unique personal failing shifts the blame from you to the behavior. This is the foundation of recovery. Step 2. Rebuilding reality. Gaslighting systematically destroys trust in your own mind. The antidote is external validation. This means talking to a therapist, confiding in trusted friends, and writing everything down in a journal. This process is about gathering evidence for your own sanity. Hearing a professional say, "Yes, that is gaslighting," is like an anchor in a sea of confusion. It slowly rebuilds the trust in your own perception. Step 3. Calming the nervous system. This form of abuse leaves the nervous system in a constant state of fight or flight. A huge part of rewiring the brain is learning to regulate this hyperarousal. This involves somatic practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, and meditation. These practices help calm the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, and strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the center for rational thought. It is a daily practice of teaching your body that the threat is gone. Step 4. Reestablishing identity. Manipulators erode your sense of self. A vital part of healing is rediscovering who you are outside of them. This requires a conscious effort to reconnect with hobbies, friends, and interests. It means asking simple questions. What music do I like? What do I want to do? Each small decision made in your own self-interest helps rebuild autonomy. You must relearn how to be the main character in your own life. Step 5. Trusting my intuition. The final, most profound step is learning to trust your gut feeling again. Looking back, that too good to be true feeling was not just a turn of phrase. It was intuition sounding an alarm. The faint sense of unease, the feeling that it was a performance, was the truth. Abuse teaches you to silence that inner voice. Healing is learning to listen to it again, to honor it, and to know that your intuition is your most vital self-protection mechanism. That 7-day whirlwind was a psychological Trojan horse. It was designed to look like a gift, but its purpose was to infiltrate your defenses and conquer your sense of self. The lesson is not that love is dangerous, but that manufactured high-pressure instant intensity is a critical red flag. True, healthy love is not a bombing campaign. It is a slow, steady process of building. It brings peace, not anxiety. It fosters independence, not dependency. Healing from this experience is a long road, but it can rewire the brain for strength. Recognizing these dark psychology tactics is not about becoming cynical. It is about becoming wise. It is about developing an unshakable trust in yourself, so that when someone offers you a fairy tale that feels too good to be true, you have the strength to know that you deserve something real instead. You did not just survive a manipulator. You graduated from a master class in human behavior. And now, you are the expert on protecting your own peace. What was the biggest red flag you once ignored? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could be the validation someone else needs to start their own healing journey. For your next watch, I recommend the video on the 5 subtle signs of a covert narcissist.